Is that good?
Yeah, this looks good to me.
Okay. Welcome back to Call It Cliché. Things have changed, if you can't tell.
Like really changed.
Really changed.
Monumentous
physically
changes.
And mentally.
Yes.
And emotionally.
So much.
And astrologically.
I don't even know. Oh, big time astrologically. I'm pretty sure Saturn's next door right now or something.
I don't know
really
where
sure.
she is,
but no
but
one is in Cancer.
she's
that
going
much I know.
crazy.
She's going crazy, okay? So listen, you guys. Honestly, last time you heard from me at least, and I can't speak for Kaylin.
I can't even remember. I can't even remember.
Personally, last time you heard from me, I don't know if you heard from me. You heard from 3 months ago version of me, which is such a different person than I am right now. And we had a listener, Nadine, shout out to Nadine.
Love Nadine.
Tell us that she's been listening to the podcast on repeat.
2 episodes.
And
or 3.
Yeah. And I'm so here for the support, but I'm also like, we have changed so much since then. We have to do at least Nadine justice by
give her
updating you guys
new.
Yes, and give her something new to work with here.
For
okay real. So this is Call It Cliché.
Yep, the new and improved.
Yes, new and improved.
Because listen, for those who are listening, we do have a video element now, and you should be able to watch that video either on IGTV and or YouTube.
Yes.
So
Kaylin and I are very expressive people.
Yeah.
We could literally not say words and you'd probably know what we're saying.
This is the first time that we're also doing... Sorry, I cut you off.
No. Cut away.
This is the
cut
first
away.
time
Decapitate me. Decapitate me, please. Give us your words of wisdom.
This is the first time that we're doing this podcast episode in person. Together.
Oh my gosh. How did we not...
I don't know.
Jared, pop the Clico. Pop the Clico.
Drop the top.
Drop the top. Pop the Clico. Okay?
We've been doing this virtually because she was living on the East Coast and I was here in Kansas City. We weren't filming it or recording it together, so we were doing it separately, which was kind of hard. It was still fun. I loved it.
Yeah.
But it's different feeling each other's energy in person.
It really is.
And like you were saying, being able to express our emotions visually on camera. We
Yep.
talk a lot with our hands.
Yes, we do. We also have added some new characters to our voices.
Listen, once we're together in person, it's over. It's over.
Should we show them?
Okay, so this, you don't even need words. Whenever you do this, it means over.
Over.
Whenever you do this.
Oh, yeah, and for our listeners, you might have to refer to the video element for this part. But we have an entire sign language that we've unconsciously made up over time. But now we have fully defined. So that we can kind of just talk to each other without speaking, which we've already been doing. But now we're actually putting it in the Cicinary. If you don't know what that is, it's our sister dictionary.
And the motions add to the theatrics.
Yeah, let me show
and
you.
for those who know us, we're theatric people.
Very much so.
So this one...
Over.
For those who are listening, is a hand gesture cutting across the neck. Okay? That sounded really aggressive when I said it.
You guys know what we're talking about.
We're fine.
Yeah.
Next one. Brazy. For those who are listening.
It's like a super version of crazy. And for those who are listening, it's... They're like...
Yeah, we're over. We're not going to describe this.
Okay.
Brazy. What was the other one? This, 2 meanings. Run it up or let's get it going.
Let's get it going.
Let's get it going.
Let's get it going.
Or let's leave. So like if we're in the club.
We can't hear each other.
Something happens or we're just not feeling it anymore. This motion and we're out.
Yep.
We're out.
Sometimes even right before we get in the car.
Yep. It really depends on the energy. You never know.
It does. It do.
You never know.
We have one more.
Oh. Listen.
Because there's something... Listen, I'm Italian. I've always spoken with my hands. There is something very... You're able to grab people's energy and keep it for a second and then kindly give it back to them. And that's why I love talking with my hands. Did that even make sense? But like, that's how I feel.
It does make sense. It just adds to the overall experience.
It does.
It really does.
It really does.
It's like you're entertaining. You're putting on a show. Yeah. For those who are interacting.
That's probably what it is. It's like a puppet show, but with my hands and me as me and not acting. So there's that.
So lots of things have changed.
Yes, lots of things have changed.
We developed our own sign language.
And that's probably the most monumental.
Yeah, agreed. Personally. We are filming Call It Cliché now. There will be a video element from here on out, which is very exciting. Yup.
We are very excited about that.
And also, I'll let you reveal the most important change of all.
So if you're watching or listening to these podcasts chronologically, you may have heard me say in the last podcast, I'm going to manifest moving to Kansas City by saying this on this podcast right now. You are currently watching me live, well, more or less, from a living room, Kaylin's, in Kansas mother freaking city.
Yep, that's right.
So you can actually, with our podcast, I think it's important we kind of talk about our goals and aspirations.
Agreed.
Because you can kind of watch the manifestations, listen to the manifestations unfold in real time, which is really cool.
Yep. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding. It's one thing.
And the pudding is really good.
It's good so far.
I've never been so happy, you guys.
Aww.
I've never been so happy. I can genuinely say.
Yay.
I feel like, I always say this when I feel like I'm in touch with my true self. But like I've put on the perfect shoe. You know, when you just put on that perfect shoe, it's hard to find a shoe. You might find a shoe that fits, but then you wear it for some time. And it starts to build calluses or it hurts a little bit. This one, track star.
Track star. Run it up. Run it up. And you know what? Those other shoes, they served a purpose. They got you through. You were able to get from destination to destination.
Well, they got me to where I am.
Exactly. That's right.
Yep.
And I don't know. I feel as though, and maybe this is just my own personal projection opinion.
Project on me.
Yeah. Okay, I will.
Please.
I feel as though sometimes I get so passionate about things when I'm talking, especially on a podcast, when the entire purpose is just talking, that it can maybe come off as like preachy and just over. I don't want to use the word over. I don't really know how to explain it, but it just hits different whenever the actions line up with the words. It
actually happens.
When the actions line up with the words.
Yeah.
Because then you're able to let the actions speak for themselves.
Yeah. I was on a date with a guy not too long ago, and I was like, so what makes you the angriest? It was like our first date, too. And he was like, when people preach about things that they don't do themselves.
Ooh.
And immediately, in my head, I was like...
Insecurity.
I don't know if you're on a date with the right person.
Triggered.
But you know what? That was my insecurities.
Yeah.
Feeling that way.
Yeah.
Because I make a very active point every day in my life to align myself with the things I'm talking about.
Well, and I think that self-awareness of you even feeling insecure, although it's not necessary because your actions do line up with your words.
Thank you.
It shows that you do care about that and how self-aware you are about it. Yeah. Or else you wouldn't even think twice. You'd be like, no.
Well, it's really easy to like talk about this stuff and almost just be talking about it so much. You start to actually disconnect from it. Yeah. And it's kind of clear to your audience.
Yes.
And that's why I don't know, like I feel like I definitely wanted to go the route of doing everything virtual for some time. And making vlogs and TikTok and video. But I kind of got to the point where like the virtual world exists over here. This world exists right here. The key is to connect them, not to only exist up here.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And so I kind of stopped having like, I feel like stories to tell, or maybe always coming from an authentic place and just coming from maybe something I learned 2 months ago, 2 months prior. But now I'll learn something, and then that's when I'll go straight to make a video about it. And it's like you're almost seeing me constantly project the thing that I just fully learned about or experienced 3 seconds ago.
Well, and that's why we're here today.
Yes.
That's why we're here today.
Yes.
Because we have changed a lot, grown a lot, gone through a lot of good and bad things the past, what has it been, couple months since the last episode, probably? I can't remember exactly.
Has it been more than that? Maybe we're being dramatic.
Was it February or March? Listen, I don't know, but it was a long time, okay?
It was maybe early March.
Yeah. See, and a lot has happened. And why we're here today is because we have spent the past few months in action trying to work towards our goals and just grow as people.
Yeah.
And we are feeling really good. And we feel as though, I shouldn't speak for you. I feel as though I've learned something.
For me. Speak for me.
I'm like, we're the same person. We're the same person.
Speak for me.
We've learned a lot, and I feel like we're in a position to where we're ready to share. And explain how we got there.
Yes. There were times when Kayla and I would go to record, and I'm not saying if this feeling exists to stop it altogether. Sometimes pushing through is exactly what you have to do. And there were times where a lot of those podcasts you maybe have listened to before this, we did push through. And that was actually us pushing through those moments. But I feel like a lot of the time when you do push through those moments is when you get that gold. But every now and then you do have to kind of take a break to actually experience life.
Yes.
Whatever that is for you. For us personally, it was recording podcasts and videos.
Yes.
But it really can be anything, you know?
Yes. I forgot what I was going to say.
Literally same. Literally same. I actually do remember now what I was going to say.
What?
In case you probably maybe just saw me completely forget absolutely everything I was saying.
Same.
But I remember now. See, isn't that crazy? About frequencies, though? Mine forgot. My little energy wave forgot. And then yours hopped on and forgot, too.
Yep.
But we weren't even conscious of it. But what I was going to say is there was a time when I did have to just completely stop all the things that, like, I had defined as me in terms of, like, recording video and vlogging and all this stuff to do other things. And those are the things that now are like fully out in the world, and I'm seeing their product now, if you will. Like writing. I just published my first poetry book. It's called I Fall in Love with Everyone I Meet.
Can you add the applause, the sound bite?
Oh, yeah. Okay, and I'm going to add a picture of the book.
Okay, yes.
Okay, great. It's called I Fall in Love with Everyone I Meet. And, you know, I've had people ask me, Chloe, so what's your book about? And I'm like, the title just speaks for itself. So that's as far as I'm going to go regarding what the book is about. And we could always have another podcast for that. And maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, I think that's
that'd
great.
That'd be so fun.
Yes, and then go through the poems.
Different poems. Well,
I would about themes.
I would like to know which one stood out to you. So we'll do that podcast
Twin
at some
Flame.
point. Oh! But when she literally refers to one of your 100 poems with the title. Caitlin. My heart right now.
Favorite.
My literal heart right now. Not me about to recite it out loud. I'll skip that part, you guys.
Next episode.
You're gonna have to read the book for that. So anyway, as I was saying, had I not taken time for myself to go inwards, the poetry book that is now out in the world right now, that now I can like talk about and vlog about and have something to actually talk about in life.
Yep.
I wouldn't have any of that. So, yeah, and it was also just necessary for me to, like, feel things for a bit. Yeah. Even if it was dark and it was hard. Yeah. A lot of those poems are really emotional and sad. Yeah. I don't know if you made it, your Pisces, but made it through.
I did, because I was in a rush and I was reading some of them, but I haven't sat down and actually read through every single one and gone through all of the emotions. My Pisces self will be a wreck.
Guys.
She will be a mess.
Guys, Caitlin,
What?
Sometimes we can't even get through a full song.
Listen.
Starts crying right now.
I'm about to. Some songs are just too emotional. If I'm in the space where I want to cry, run it up.
Yeah.
Turn up the volume. But if I'm not
Where is that space?
If I'm sad.
Okay.
If I'm sad or just emo.
Already sad from something else that's occurred, rather than just spontaneous sadness.
I can't take on random sadness. I can't take it on. Because some songs really, really get to me. I remember we were at the park one time and she was playing a song, and I was going through a really hard time in my life at this point. And she played this beautiful song. I can't remember exactly what it was, but she's jamming. She's not even looking at me. She's so in her own world, just like,
I'm a sad girl.
Getting it.
I'm a sad girl.
And I'm over there like, for real, bawling my eyes out.
You know what it was? It was a John Lennon song, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a John Lennon song. I think it was, I'm not going to say it was Imagine, because that's kind of a happy song. And that'd be really funny if that's what you were crying to.
Honestly, at that state, I was probably crying at anything.
WAP.
Anything.
Up. Cardi B.
WAP. If it's up, then
it's up, then it's down.
But really though, she turned around and I just have tears, and I tried hiding it. I was like, don't be drama, don't be Pisces. And
me as the nurturer, as the friend, is like, all you had to do, Chloe, was not play a sad song. But in my world, I don't know if it's good or it's bad, or it means I'm not processing or what it is, but I can compartmentalize moments. Like, I can listen to something really dark and really sad and then, like, fucking turn myself off from it 3 seconds later and be back and ready to rumble. And I don't know if that's good or bad. She's really good at working through her emotions on the spot.
Ooh, sometimes I don't have a choice, though. I literally don't have a choice. But
that's that connectedness. That fear doesn't exist then, in that case, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That's you being very connected to yourself.
I get triggered easily, and I that song just sent me, and she turned around and saw that I was a mess. It
Guys,
was like,
I'm in my own world. I'm literally like,
jamming,
singing,
people, and I'm like trying to hide my face.
She's like shaking, like convulsing, and I'm like,
okay?
Kate, imagine the people, yes. And she's like, turns around, it's like a cartoon. And she's like, imagine. And I'm like, cut the music, cut it out. That's a good time for. Yeah.
That's the two.
Yeah.
That's the two hands.
I hope I made it up to you. Like, Louis Capaldi would not fly in the car with Kaylin. We're not,
What's that?
I was getting kind of used to being someone you loved. She might, one of the literal top songs in the universe. She probably doesn't even know. I'm sure as soon as the first lyric played anywhere that you were, your Pisces, you just shut it off.
Listen, I can't.
Someone you loved. Our audience might give you shit for this one.
Is it newer?
Like a year ago now, maybe a year and a half ago.
I probably, if I heard it, I feel like I might recognize.
Yeah, me singing it like so off key. The other day I was singing a song, and I was like, "You don't know that song? It's insane." What was it? It was oh my god, a very famous like Aretha Franklin song, Whitney Houston.
Yeah,
and I'm singing it to her, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't know it," and I'm like, "That's insane," because this is one of the most famous songs of all time. I play the song, she's like, "Wait, I know this song." I'm like,
okay, at the chorus though.
Okay, true.
The chorus.
True, I sang the chorus.
Did you?
I sang the chorus. It wasn't How Will I Know. Oh my gosh, Ariana Grande singing at the White House. Anyway. I don't even know how we got here.
Me either.
But it's time to move on
I agree.
the topic
Why
of conversation.
Here. As you know, it is called Call It Cliché.
Mm-hmm.
And the cliche for today is
walk to the beat of your own drum.
Okay? We tried to line it up,
time it
but
so
I
perfectly.
Don't know.
All right. Listen.
Listen.
She always, whenever she'll say it again.
Listening.
Oh. Whenever her Caitlin's favorite word is listen, and every single time I'm like listening.
I don't know when I picked it up, but I do say it a lot.
You picked it up and you carried it with you. And
I do.
As you should though.
Enjoy it.
You should always be summoning an audience when you have something important to say.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Thanks, sis.
Of course, anytime.
Listening. As we said earlier, we've grown a lot these past couple months, and I would say the biggest theme of our personal growth has been learning to walk, dance even.
Yeah.
Maybe we should change it to dance.
Dance to the beat of your own drum.
Yes, there we go. Maybe that is the saying.
No, it's walk.
Okay, so dance it is.
Because when you walk, it's like the soldiers, I think, would walk to the beat to walk in line together.
That makes sense.
So the point, I think, is to like not have to like walk in sync with everyone else. Like walk to the beat of your own drum.
But dance sounds more
Dance
fun.
is so much better. Okay,
dance
guys.
To the beat of
so
your
we're
own
gonna call this one "Dance to the Beat of Your Own Drum."
Yep. That's the one. That's a cliche for today.
Yeah.
And I feel as though obviously we have different lives, different paths, but they're very much aligned. And what has gotten us to this point and what has allowed us to be able to, in all honesty, like make our dreams come true has been figuring out what that personal beat is.
Yeah.
And no matter how hard it is or how sad we feel or distraught.
Yeah.
Those are probably, I feel like those are the same words. Or tired.
Tight beat.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Tight beat.
We
just keep dancing to the beat of our own drums.
Doing it anyway. And it's going to be, everyone else is going to be so convincing at times. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is the way to go. And you might try a million different ways. And you might try the way that everyone else is doing it. And that's fine. And you should. That's how you design your own beat, I feel like, a lot of the time.
I feel like where I want to start with this is how we found our own beat.
Ooh.
And honestly, I don't even know if I can answer this question.
Dang. We're going to be here a while, but we're going to try and condense.
Okay, we can summarize.
Yeah.
Actually, so earlier today, we were looking for a memory card to use for this video. Mm-hmm. And I came across an old-ass memory card that I hadn't used in years. And it had Yvonne and Mitchell photos on it from whenever we first started our business, which is crazy. But it also...
Wait, so... See?
Oh my God. Okay, so on the same
Memory card.
Memory card, bro. Our old Yvonne Mitchell photos that we took.
Yvonne Mitchell is her vintage clothing company.
Yes.
Owned by her and her boyfriend that they started how many years ago?
We started, I think it'll be 4 years ago in September.
Yep.
We started in college.
That's thriving.
Oh, thank you. That was us learning, finding our beat and just dancing to it no matter what anyone else said, no matter what anyone else's perceptions were.
Who was watching? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no matter who was watching, no matter what reception we were getting, it didn't matter.
It's our dance.
Yep.
It's our, exactly. Yep. For our own fulfillment and our own happiness. On that same memory card.
How the frick this happened, I don't know. Crazy. I must have given her the memory card to borrow.
Yeah, I think so. Because on the same memory card, there were a few videos of Chloe whenever she was living in New York City one summer between college. And were those your first videos that you took for your YouTube channel?
Yep.
Okay.
The very first ones.
Yep.
I've been taking videos of myself since I was young, but nothing like vlog style until these videos. And I was living in like a studio apartment in the city by myself, and I was like, I need to just do this. Like, I have things to say to the world, and I love storytelling.
Yeah.
If you can't tell. I love storytelling. It gets me high to make people laugh. And that was the first time I sat down and started a video. Maybe we'll do a clip or something like that.
Yeah, we should.
Because it is a different person.
Yes.
Hello, you guys. You are probably wondering what I'm doing on here. And the truth is that I feel like Snapchat and Instagram stories, they just weren't enough for me to get across what I want to get across to the world. So here I am.
And I look back at a lot of my favorite YouTubers and I kind of see similarities in how they started versus like where they ended up. I never ended up posting it. I probably, as soon as I turned off the camera, as sometimes I still do.
Yeah.
Feel self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
And I never revisited it. Now I'll see things through more.
Yep.
But back then I didn't. And it is just me trying to tell a story. And I tell the story, but it is not nearly as natural as like you probably sense me talking now, because that was my first time doing it, and that was me practicing.
Anyway, as you can see, I'm new at this, but okay.
But Caitlin was being kind when she said a few videos. There's 8 different videos of me trying to tell the same story, and you can tell I'm holding back a bit.
Yeah. As like rightfully so. Even me sitting from the camera right now, I can feel myself holding back because we're still human, we're still growing. But I think the story that you were telling ties so well into the theme that we're talking about here today, because she was basically, around this time was when you started going by Clotilda again. Because for almost your whole life, you were going by Chloe.
Yeah.
Because people had made fun of your name.
Yeah.
First things first, you're probably wondering why I changed my Instagram handle to Clotilda. Well, Clotilda's my real name. You're probably wondering, how is that?
And in this video that she was trying to film, she was just explaining why she was sort of taking back her name and coming out as Clotilda again and being like, this is me. And I think that's so powerful because that was, I mean, you've taken many steps throughout your life, but that was a major step in terms of, you know, dancing to the beat of your own drum.
That was huge.
Because that's your name.
Yeah.
That's so powerful.
That same summer, I started acting school for the first time.
Oh, yes.
Which was a big jump in and of itself.
Singing lessons as well,
Singing
right?
lessons, acting school. That was when I was like, I'm just going to do this. I've been going to journalism school for how long, whatever, and I loved journalism school and everything else, but I'm going to also dedicate myself to performance, no matter how hard it is. And you guys, if you like to perform at all, take a freaking acting class. It will make you get out of your shell in ways you've never experienced in your entire life. I had to get on the floor and give birth to a whale pretending to be a guppy. And someone cried.
Listen, acting class be brave.
Acting class be brave.
But you gotta do it.
Right.
That took me a minute. I was like, what are you doing?
Every now and then.
What are you doing?
So anyway, so my acting teacher, Deborah Kim, who I've shouted out in possibly every single thing I've ever put up on the internet ever.
Deborah.
She is one of my greatest mentors. Also, seek out mentors.
Yeah.
For anyone listening, seek out mentors or ask for a mentor from the universe, and you'll typically be provided one.
Yeah.
But mentors are 99.9% of the reason I am where I am, and just people with experience who have helped give me confidence.
The thing is, though, and I mean, everyone's life is so different. So I don't want this to be a blanket statement. But from personal experience, I've found, and we've talked about this a lot in our conversation, that whenever you are more in alignment with who you truly are, dancing to the beat of your own drum, you attract people.
Those people naturally come in.
Who are just sort of made for you, who are on that frequency that you are at.
Yeah.
And you can only attract those people if you embrace your true self.
Yeah.
If you're not embracing who you really are, then you're going to attract people who don't really meet you where you're truly at inside.
Yeah.
But the more that you express yourself honestly and authentically, people who love you for who you are will catch on to that and gravitate towards you. And in terms of friends, partners, and especially mentors, because I feel like
mentors, I love that.
I feel like whenever you actually found Deborah that summer. Was that before or after you did the video?
That was, I think, that me recording that video was the first day I moved in. I had not met her yet.
See? And whenever we started Yvonne and Mitchell, we didn't have any mentors. So it was like almost us taking
having
a
to
chance.
take initiative ourselves.
Yes, exactly. And once we did that, once we took that step towards our passion, then we started attracting people that were in line with that.
Take one step, and the universe will take 1,000 towards you.
Well, it will meet you where you're at.
Yep.
All you have to do is take that one step, and
it'll start throwing bands.
Honestly,
however they need to exist. Whether it's literal bands or resources or people, teachers. It's crazy. One step. Because the way I like to describe it is when we get too comfortable, a sort of energy builds up that we call stagnant energy. And the second that energy is removed, whether that be a person, a job, a situation, it, as painful as it can be shedding, it suddenly creates room for thousands and thousands of different little things to come in. Yes.
Applause.
Run it up. But Deborah, that summer, we had one class where the literal only assignment was to get up and introduce ourselves. And I got up and I was like, "Hi guys," lashes in probably,
looking fire,
well, there was like a cute ass boy necklace. So I stepped out for acting class. Okay. Anyways, I get up from the class and I'm just like, "Hi, my name's Chloe Demaro." She said, "Sit down." She said, "Sit back down." I sat back down. So when Deborah Kim says sit down, you sit down.
Okay.
She said, "Get back up." I got back up. She said, "Reintroduce yourself." And the way she said it, I was like, "Ooh, I know what to do."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hi guys, my name is Clotilda Sabia Demaro." And she said, "That's it." She said, "That's it. That's what you will introduce yourself as the rest of your life." And that day forward, I really never said Chloe again. And I still get people who are like, "Is there anything else I can call you?" Which I don't let it get to me, but I love when I have people who literally, they'll look at me and they'll say, "Clotilda?" And I'll say, "Yep." And they'll say, "Okay, nice to meet you, Clotilda." They don't make a thing out of it, and they can, because I'm here to talk about my name whenever. It creates conversation. But yeah, that was just one of the things that over time, the more I said it, even though names really don't matter that much, labels don't matter that much, you know what I'm saying? If you don't like your name, change it also if you want.
Yeah.
But for me, it was that thing that my whole life I had attached with being, hard to say out loud because I was insecure about it.
Yep.
So the more often I said it, the more confident I grew over time. To now, it just rolls off the tongue. I really don't care.
And I felt as though, and again, I don't want to speak for you. Maybe I'm wrong, but I felt as though you always loved your name until people started to make fun of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you were a child, so naturally you let that get to you and, influence the way you saw your name.
Sixth grade science class.
Tell the story.
Sixth grade science class.
I'm about to throw hands.
The most popular and prettiest girl in the hometown that I lived in asked me, I forget what it was. Maybe they were doing roll call or something. Honestly, it wasn't even roll call because my parents didn't even put Clotilda on the book, which I was like, damn. Really? So they named me and they still want to protect me from this?
You gave me this.
Yeah, also background, hi, run it up. My Clotilda is my great-grandma's name. So, it's Italian, so it's a different culture. Obviously here, people are like, what is that? So that's another element. But I told her my name was Clotilda, this girl in my class, and she laughed at me and was like, what kind of name is that? And ever since that day, I don't think I said it again. I don't think I said it again.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that us as our younger selves is coming up, because if you're sitting here thinking, okay, I know I need to take a step. I know I need to dance to the beat of my own drum.
But how and where?
But like, how do I find this? Where do I find this inspiration? I don't even know what my own beat is. I don't know what kind of genre I like.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is it a 1-2 step? Is it a 3-8?
So
I don't know. Don't even know if that was like the right terminology. Yeah, I'm not sure.
3-8.
But I have no idea. That was just me throwing down some terminology. If you are,
it works.
Thank you.
It works.
Thank you. As long as the conviction is there, you're probably gonna believe me. So run it up. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up.
You can zoom in on the fingers.
Yeah, I have to. Okay, continue.
Already seeing the edits.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I
was just gonna say that one thing that we've learned, or that's helped us, is looking back towards our childhood and listening to our inner child that still lives within every single one of us today, no matter what age we are, and figuring out what made us happy back then.
Yeah.
What sparked our interest back then? What did we love to do? And I actually recently went home this past weekend for my childhood home for the first time in a while. And I came across this memory box of a bunch of old school papers I'd written and photos and just different paintings I'd done, crafts, whatever. And it just gave me this new inspiration for life, and also this new self-confidence, because some of the stuff that I found, I'd always known that I loved fashion, I loved modeling, I loved clothes, I wanted to own my own business. I'd always remembered that, sort of having those interests as a child, but I never really had any proof of it, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But whenever I was going through this memory box, I found a bunch of different things. I found this old, quote unquote, magazine that I had made completely by myself at
dope too.
The age of 9.
It's dope.
Making my own magazine.
Yeah.
I found this life list that I created in school. And on it was own my own business and recycle for the rest of my life. For those who don't know, my clothing business, Yvonne Mitchell, is a completely upcycled clothing brand. So it's all reused, secondhand fabrics and textiles.
An environment
queen.
Thank you. No, for real.
Thank you. Save her, protect her.
Yeah. She's got green eyes too, and she loves the color green. She kind of just looks like a tree, but a beautiful tree.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
that's the best compliment I could ever get, honestly.
No, you are Mother Nature to me. Yeah.
Likewise, though. Likewise.
Thank you.
But I found all this stuff, and some of the stuff that I'd written or made as a child, I didn't really resonate with anymore. But seeing those few things,
number 2 or 3, on her bucket list was become Mountain Dew CEO. Which the CEO part,
okay, in line with the mission and the vision. But
the Mountain Dew.
Listen, y'all, we're not poisoning ourselves with that anymore. However, I was one of those wannabe quirky girls that was
She was a quirky girl.
I get freaked up on Mountain Dew. It makes me so hyper. You know what I'm saying?
With your mustache finger. Yeah. And she was a mustache girl. She was a Mountain Dew girl and a mustache girl.
Don't out me. Why are you gonna out me?
I had to. There was no other choice. She was a mustache girl and a Mountain Dew girl, yeah.
Y'all.
So.
I was her.
But it created this. So I guess the mustache, I'm about to tattoo a mustache on my finger.
And listen, I'm learning to embrace my past no matter how cringeworthy, because it got me here today.
Exactly.
And she did her best.
Yeah.
But seeing those things, it really, like I said, just gave me reassurance that I'm doing the best that I can and that I'm on the right track. And I don't want to say this will work for everybody, but I just challenge you to give it a try. And again, there might be some things that you loved as a child that you just don't resonate with anymore, and that's completely okay, because you change and you grow.
And those things might have changed form in terms of just because you liked racing toy cars, what do I do now? Well, you might be an engineer now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But just give it a try and try to, explore your childhood and your past and what used to really just make you happy, and see where that leads you, and see if you can find any sort of themes or parallels in what you're doing now or what you're interested in now.
Now that we're talking about it, I'm kind of realizing that I don't know, a lot of people ask me how I got to where I am in terms of totally doing everything I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And I think it was kind of learning about the inner child and all of that stuff that then caused me to go look back and think about those things and not limit that child in any way.
Yes. Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Limiting.
Not limit that child in any way. So like for me, getting older was like my original path. I went for television broadcasting because in the boxes of society that exists, it's like, oh, if you want to help people, it's journalism. And if you want to perform, my mom was always like, and my mom encourages everything I do, but this is what she knew best because this is what she did. She was a producer. If you want to perform, then you're an anchor.
Yep.
And all these like kind of boxes. Structures. So that's what I did. I went to school for TV broadcasting journalism.
Yep.
Later realized that I literally didn't even have to put a cap on it. I didn't even have to limit myself. Changed my major from TV broadcasting to documentary because it allowed me to like film more, have more creative freedom, and then added theater as a major. And I'm still talking kind of in boxes because I'm still in college, still operating under majors, minors. But like I told you, I love mentors, and I learned a lot from my theater classes. So wherever, I had a friend who always says, put yourself in places of education. It doesn't have to be like college per se or anything like that. It could even be YouTube University, which we love. But ideally, around people you can connect with, and there's lots of resources online for free education and things like that. So, yeah.
It's crazy that you say that because whenever I majored in journalism as well, we went to the same college, for those who don't know, Mizzou School of Journalism.
MIZ!
Best ZOU! Best in the nation. Ow. Listen, we're writers.
Ow. I know, we're that annoying alumni who says that we don't care about boxes or labels. When it comes to Mizzou, we're like MIZ.
Lock us up.
Because of our experiences we had there.
Yes.
One of which is meeting each other.
Truly,
so
yeah, okay.
That might
so
be honestly
a little biased.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
But when I enrolled in the journalism school, at first, I was going to try to be like a magazine editor because, as I said earlier, when I was younger, I always envisioned creating my own magazine. But as I got older and let those structures influence me, I limited those dreams. And I don't know, I feel like as you grow, you take on a quote unquote like adult view, the limiting view. That's like, like you said, with wanting to be on TV and then saying, okay, I guess I need to
What is that? Yeah. If I were to turn this down,
work for somebody.
The acting industry is really hard. What's better than
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I was like, okay, I want to technically deep down create my own magazine, but I have to work for somebody, so I'm going to go to school to be a magazine editor.
Because it'd be too hard to have my own and make a living off of it.
Yes.
Whoever's out there saying this, we're shutting you down.
Well, and then I was like, okay, I also want to be on TV, and that's when I was like, maybe I'll do broadcast journalism. Didn't work out.
You cannot tell us what to say or what to do and expect us to just say it if it's not in line with what we believe.
Yes.
So that's a big thing with broadcast is like you have to be willing to read from a script that isn't yours. And if you work long and hard enough, eventually you could get to the point where you can write your own scripts. And also respect to all of our broadcast journalists out there because
it's hard work.
It is hard freaking work.
And when it came down to it, I was just not passionate enough about it. That was the issue. There wasn't really an issue with the job or the structure because some people enjoy that.
And we have friends who do it and kill it.
Exactly. Yeah. But it was just when it came down to it, and I was like, do I want to put this work in? The answer is no. Yeah. It doesn't invigorate me. It doesn't make me excited because really, I just want to be on TV. I don't.
This is when we have to go back and look at the intention.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
My intention to be a journalist and report on that stuff wasn't there like it was for other people who truly enjoy that job.
Yeah.
So that's when I decided, okay, this isn't for me. And I decided to go to strategic communications, which really lines up so much better with who I am as a person because I'm very business oriented. I guess I can say I am an entrepreneur now. Always wanted to be.
CEO.
Thank you. Respect.
Yes.
Thank you.
Put some respect on the name.
But that aligned with my passions and my own beat so much more because it was all focused on marketing and growing a business and learning how to communicate with people and cater to people. And I don't know. I feel like what?
And you're also hearing us talk about the other side of it. It might be hard and people might tell you to go the other direction. I'm sorry. Rewind. People are going to tell you to just go, yeah, I know you want to get there, but trust me, you got to pay your dues first. That's what they'll say. I'm not saying that you're never going to struggle in what you want to do. I struggle all the time in doing what I do. Editing videos for long hours and things like that is hard.
Yep.
But it's the kind of work that when I'm done with it, it's worth it. Then there's work that when you're done with it, it's still not worth it. And that's what you shouldn't be doing.
And that was actually another big thing that I wanted to bring up is that it's almost ironic because how do I explain this? The journey of discovering who you are and what you want to do is not easy. And we go in knowing that because it's way easier to just conform and not think about it and suppress and just do what people tell you to do. And so whenever you go that route of beating to your own drum, and I'm honestly speaking from personal experience, whenever I started to experience those hardships and those challenges that come with going against the grain, I was like, oh, why me?
Yeah. Wait. And a lot of you might be experiencing why me moments right now that you don't realize came from you deciding that you were going to walk to the beat or dance to the beat of your own drum.
Yes.
So zoom out.
Yes.
Zoom out. We love saying zoom out.
Yeah.
Zoom out for a second and think about why you might be in the position you're in.
Absolutely.
Or think about a way that you might be able to get yourself out of it because you decide that you decide you're going to go dance to the beat of your own drum. And that might be a hard and difficult and uncomfortable process, but it will be so worth it in the end. So worth it.
Yeah, and I think it's really important, the point that you brought up of the fact that people are going to tell you that you should be doing something else, and just keeping in mind that no one knows you or your heart or what you want to do
your
better
memories
than
or your
yourself.
experiences or what makes you feel type of way. Or,
yes.
You are the best you that you know.
Yes.
That makes sense?
Yeah, that does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, I had some of my closest family members.
It'll be the people closest to you. And that's why it'll hurt the most.
Dude, that's the ultimate test, though. It's like, okay, it's one thing for people you don't know to say stuff. You can write it off. You can hopefully shrug it off your shoulders.
Yeah.
But when it's those people that are closest to you, that you love and you know they love you, but they just don't get it, that's the biggest test. Yeah. And that's the ultimate, how much do you believe in yourself? You believe in yourself, but are you going to believe in yourself even when
in the
those
face
people,
of this?
Yes, when those people second guess who you are.
Well, these are the people who have been telling you what's right and wrong your entire life. These are the people who took your hand off the stove when the stove was hot. Then there has to be a point where you have your own autonomy in life and your own discrepancy, and they'll see eventually, or they don't.
Yeah,
and that still has to be fine because they may be conditioned.
Yeah,
to self-limiting beliefs.
Yes. And that's the thing is, in that situation, no matter how hard it is, and maybe you might not be able to recognize this in the moment, but in that situation, you're supposed to be teaching them a lesson here. Like if they tell you something, like, oh, why are you doing this? This is stupid. You really should be doing this instead of this. You're living in a fantasy land.
Oh, I actually got that today. I got that today. And
it's like, in that moment, one, they're probably projecting just their own fears and insecurities on the situation.
Yeah. So don't demonize them. Don't hate them.
Yes.
This is all they know.
Compassion.
Yeah.
But two, you in this situation are the one who's in turn teaching them a lesson of like clearly there's something that they still have to learn about themselves and just about how to navigate life. And although it might not feel great in the moment, just come out knowing that you are, what's the word I'm looking for? The trailblazer.
The trailblazer. Yes. I love that word so much.
Yes.
Listen, there's more than one way to Rome. And you might be the daughter or son or whatever you are of someone who has had one way that's basically worked.
Yeah.
I say the word basically because they may have not thrived and been happy, but it's worked. It's gotten them to where they are. It's gotten them to maybe pay the bills and raise a family, right? But there are new ways now, baby. We are evolving.
Yes.
This is how evolution has to happen.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, this is so relevant to everything outside of ourselves, but especially with ourselves. Like Clotilda said.
Thank you. Well, you can also just.
I still check myself. I check myself.
Well. I also love when people say Chloe. I don't hate the name Chloe because that was also the name I was being called my whole life too. So,
but respect on the name.
Respect
respect on the name.
All right. Thank you.
But like Chloe said, it's evolution. So we're supposed to be doing different things that make people think differently and that kind of maybe don't make sense at first.
Yep.
But we're supposed to be trying new things because we're constantly
Yep.
evolving.
Yep.
Us and the world around us, the earth around us.
Listen, I'm here to shake shit up. Here to shake shit up.
Make people think differently.
I might make you uncomfortable. I might make you scared. I'll never make you feel badly about yourself unless you're projecting your own fears.
And that's a self lesson to
Yep.
be learned.
Yes, it is.
That ain't got nothing to do with you.
No, it does not. It doesn't. And I'm so sorry if it makes you feel a type of way. I will always have compassion for you at the end of the day. But I got to do what's best for me every single day that I exist.
Yep. And you got to do what's best for you. You got to do what's best for you. And you got to find what that best is. And I think, I know I've personally come across a lot of resources in my life. People, music even, movies that have helped.
I got to go to work soon, so I'm just going to check the time really quick.
Oh,
do you have your phone on you?
So, we made.
Sorry, guys. I have work in an hour. I love my job so freaking much.
Oh, that should be. We have to have a whole episode
I know,
to talk about what we're doing right now.
I know.
Okay.
Guys, I work at a freaking jazz bar. That's all I'm going to tell you.
That's
a freaking
right.
Jazz bar?
That's right.
Oh,
That's
so fun.
right.
Okay, continue.
I was just going to say that there are a lot of resources that have helped us throughout this journey. And I think it might be helpful, hopefully, if we share some of them.
Yes. I refuse to just pretend like this is all. A lot of it is, most of it is things that we were already existed within us. And then the resources were able to like unlock that wisdom for us. Because for you to even understand this, if you feel hype about this right now, it means because you at your core already know this stuff to be true. Yeah. We're just helping unlock it for you. Yeah. So we want to share what's helped us unlock.
Yes. There's one book that we both read. It's called A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And Eckhart Tolle is actually a pretty well-known spiritual teacher. I recently just learned that. So you might have already heard of it. But that was, for me, one of the first books that I read that really just propelled me towards finding who I am as a person and what makes me unique and letting go of the insecurities and the self-limiting thoughts that I had, and also recognizing whenever people were projecting those onto me and not letting it affect me. Because listen, I am a people pleaser, and I used to think that was a good thing, but it's not always the greatest. And that book really helped me discover why I am who I am and how that can benefit me, but also hurt that inner child inside of me that just wants to be happy and do what I love and go through life being carefree, not giving a frick what anyone else thinks.
Yeah, I would say that book for me too was also the understanding of why I am the way I am. And then moving forward, something that's like really helped me is a lot of Buddhist teachings. If you guys, I don't want to butcher the name, and I think I'm getting it right, but if I'm not, I apologize. But Thich Nhat Hanh was a really, really big one for me. And just once I understood why I was the way I was, being okay with me right now in this moment, in every moment. So Eckhart Tolle, and he also, so for me, I did end up reading Eckhart's books, but he does have a 10-part series with Oprah on Super Soul. So Super Soul podcast was another big part of my spiritual journey.
Amazing.
Yeah, any of her interviews with Eckhart are absolutely amazing.
Yeah. The book that I'm talking about, she sits down with Eckhart because she says how life-changing that book was for her. She decided to sit down with him and do the 10-part series, and they basically go through every chapter and talk through it, explain what Eckhart meant whenever he was writing it, because sometimes it can be a little confusing. It's such heavy, impactful information that processing it, especially if you don't really like to read as much, can be difficult. So listening to the podcast as well just amplified the experience. And they also have people call in throughout the episodes and ask their questions from their personal experiences. And it's really, really amazing. Yeah. It's called, the book is called A New Earth. And I think the series on Super Soul is called that as well. And
the way Oprah interviews is she makes everything very relatable. Like sometimes people will be like, why is Oprah she's never being judgy. She's trying to ask the question from the point of someone who might not understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what she does when she does that.
Yeah.
So she really doesn't miss a beat ever in her interviews.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's definitely a role model
amazing.
for me. Yeah, we're Oprah stans.
Yeah, we are heavy ones.
Big.
Essentially, A New Earth is just about the ego, which is, I don't really know how to describe it in a simple way because it's such a heavy, like, loaded.
Yeah, I guess the way I would describe the ego is probably an accumulation of experiences happening outside of you that affect the way you are, not who you are at your core, your true nature, your home.
There we go.
So every single day I work towards coming home to myself. And this kind of brings me back to like a point I kind of want to end on.
Yeah.
But sometimes when stuff looks really bad or feels really bad in the moment, you are being shed of layers to get you back to your core, especially if you've depended on anything external outside of yourself. That be a person, a job, anything that's given you a sort of superficial comfort or comfort that's not sustainable, or comfort that's not energizing you. You'll be stripped of you could be getting stripped of all of that to come back to who you are. You know, I've been staying on Kaylin's couch the last 2 weeks. Like, I haven't had somewhere to stay. Now I have somewhere to go. Next week, I move in.
Her own apartment. Luxury.
Yes.
City views.
Oh, a literal dream. You could have never told me a month ago this would be my life right now. But there was a moment in time where I felt like I'm not really going to describe. I'm not going to go into the details of how this unfolded, how I got there, but having nothing to depend on, nowhere to go but here. I had to like really remember who I am to get me through that. And connect with my true home again, which is always within me. It's not a place, it's not a job, it's not a number in your bank account, it's not a number of followers, it's inside of you.
And it's crazy because our lives just have so many parallels. But earlier when I was talking about at the park, whenever I cried when she was playing that song, I was going through a really hard time in my life. That was this time last year and a little bit earlier. And I was also going through that same thing. I was losing a lot of relationships in my life. I felt like I didn't know who I was anymore. I was definitely going through one might call an identity crisis, shadow work, all of it. And I got to a point where I didn't know how to go on. I didn't know what that next step was going to look like or how I was going to make it to see that next step. But when you hold on just a little bit longer and believe in yourself, that's when you see the light. And it's like,
sometimes the glass has to break for the light to shine through.
And looking back in the moment, I did not realize this because it's so hard whenever you get to that dark space.
It feels like hell.
Yes. But looking back, you realize just how monumental that personal growth is. And the reason why I felt that way was because I was embracing, that was really when I first started embracing who I truly was at my core. And that meant, like Chloe said, shedding those other layers of myself that no longer served me. They served a purpose in the past, but who I was becoming, which was truly Kaylin Yvonne Willis. Those other areas of my life, those people, those habits, those whatever, they weren't serving me anymore. And so I was losing them, and therefore
shedding like a freaking snake. Baby, you're shedding. I was writing about this the other day. We watch animals shed, and we're like, oh my god, animals shedding. We don't realize that we do the same thing. It's not physically. Okay.
And it's like, obviously at that point I was going to feel alone and like I didn't know who I was because for so long I had held on to those things and that identity of myself, that losing that was really, really, really hard for me. But that needed to be done to be who I am today, the happiest I've ever been.
And we know it sounds cliche. We know it sounds cliche.
Say it.
And call it cliche. But sometimes you gotta dance to the beat of your own drum, baby.
And listen, we love you.
So much. Like, literally so much.
And we sit here for 45 minutes and say how we did it and how we got there, and it might sound easy, but it's not. So no matter where you're at in this journey, whether you're getting started or you're already in it or you're where we are, which is honestly still in that journey.
Always in the journey.
Always. You can do it. It's
Yeah.
not going to be
Yeah.
a walk in the park. Another cliche. There we go. Through that. But when you come out of it and see it through, you will be rewarded in so many
Yep.
ways. It is worth every second. I promise you.
A little bit longer.
And I feel like I want to end on that.
Yeah.
That's what I have
I
to
would
say.
also like to close on that. We love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's so fun for us, okay?
Thank you.
Have an amazing day. Go get a snack. Go eat something good. Go make yourself a meal.
Yep.
Go for a walk. In
Hug
the park.
yourself. Hug yourself.
Oh, hug yourself.
As
Yes.
weird as that sounds, I hugged myself for the first time.
I'm
like,
going to end this with
last
hugging
year when I
myself.
was going through it, and I was like, this might be one of the best hugs I've ever
Yep.
had.
Yep.
I'm
Better
a
than
good hugger.
anyone else,
It
okay?
sounds weird, but just give it a try.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Yes, you do.
I love you.
I love you too.
And
Bye,
I love
guys.
you.
And I love you. Should we end this with a hug with each other?
Yes.
Yay.
We're back.
Yes, we're
Kansas
back. It's better than
City.
ever.
She
Yes.
got Elise. She'll be here. She'll be here.
Yeah.
Long term.
Yeah. Like.
So, as for the time being, we're taking over the city. And we're going to take you along with us.
Yes, we freaking are. Every single step. So get freaking ready, okay, baby? Ready? Run it up!
Oh, I thought you were going to...
I wasn't ready.
I thought you were going to say dance to the beat your own drum.
I'm done. I'm
okay,
done.
Okay, run it up. I like that. Ready?
1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Run it up!
That was beautiful.
That was our best ever.
I agree.
Ever.
We killed it.
People
we
are-
stayed on
people-
track.
yeah.
We got the
Yeah.
points.
Hello, you guys.